Welcome back. Today I want to talk about Brooke Tatnell, the driver out of Sans Souci, New South Wales, Australia. He is the only Australian-born driver in the 2002 World of Outlaws video game developed by Ratbag. And we haven't talked about him yet. We only got a couple drivers left in the game that we haven't discussed yet, and Brooke Tatnell is one of them. Now, Brooke Tatnell, probably out of all the drivers that we've discussed so far, he is the one that is actually racing the most right now. He actually won the championship last year at the Houston Speedway in South Dakota, but his days of being a full-time World of Outlaws driver are long gone. Now, he did have a couple of years on the tour. Looks like on the board we've got 4, but I do have some question marks about one of those years that hopefully somebody can answer down in the comment section below. So, Brooke Tatnell, let's jump right into it. 1999, that was his rookie season with the World of Outlaws. He ran 72 races that year. He had 0 wins, 1 top 5, and 14 top 10s, where he ran 12th in the point standings, driving the Johnson number 7K car. Now, in 2000, he leaves that car and goes to the Parsons number 6, a car that we've seen a couple of times throughout these videos so far, the Casey's General Stores number 6. But I do have some questions about this full-time year. He does run all of the races, but he only makes the feature in 50 of them. He has 0 wins, 0 top 5s, 7 top 10s, and he's 18th in the overall point standings. At one point in time in 2000, according to the thirdturn.com, I'm not sure how reliable this is, but I do get all my information from that website. At one point in time, Brooke Tatnell actually missed 20 features in a row, did not qualify for them, and that came after a race at Eldora Speedway where he actually flipped, did not finish, and then after that, 20 straight DNQs. So if anybody has any information as to what happened there, I was looking for like 30 minutes, could not figure out what happened there. It's just hard for me to believe that a guy that ran in 1999 and made 72 feature events and finished 12th in points would go 20 straight races without making the show. Hopefully somebody in the comments has an answer for us with that question. So 2005, he comes back, so he takes 4 years off between 2001 and 2004. He's not a full-time driver. He does run about 20, sometimes 35-ish races with the Outlaws, runs some with the All-Stars, runs with the IRA, but most of the time he's running full-time with the NCRA series, where he does pick up a couple of championships, which we will discuss here in just a few minutes. So from 01 to 04, not a full-time driver with the Outlaws, but he does come back in 2005. For 78 starts, he gets 3 wins this year, 26 top 5s, 44 top 10s, and he finishes 10th overall in the point standings, driving the Hanson number 8 car. Now, he would come back in 06 driving that same car, and in my opinion, have the best year of his full-time Outlaw career. For 61 starts, 5 wins, 31 top 5s, and 47 top 10s. He would come home 6th overall in the point standings. So a very good year for Brooke Tatnell in 2006. There were a couple of moments where he did miss some races. Not that he didn't even show up, like he wasn't there. I think I want to say maybe like 4 or 5 races where he actually didn't go to the track. But he finished 6th overall in the point standings, which tells me that he was a full-time driver nonetheless. And he gets the green writing because that is definitely the best season that he ever had as a full-time driver. Now, looking at his overall World of Outlaws stats, and these will change. I guarantee you that Brooke Tatnell will run some World of Outlaws races in 2024, but we're telling you that we're going to do every driver from this video game. And Brooke Tatnell, we know that he's not going to be a full-time driver probably ever again with the Outlaws, so I feel safe doing these stats. He's going to have more starts and more top 10s and whatnot, but we're going to do it anyway. So 565 starts up until this point, 13 wins, which right now is 39th all-time. He is tied with Terry McCarl right now. 84 top 5 finishes for Brooke Tatnell. For 15% of the time, he is a top 5 driver with the Outlaws. And 203 top 10 finishes. For 36% of the time, he finishes inside the top 10. Now, looking over here to this side of the board, we're looking at the accolades and the achievements for Brooke Tatnell. Very, very, very accomplished driver in the country of Australia. Has won about every big race you could think of over there. So let's look at that. A 5-time Australian Sprint Car champion, and then a 3-time Australian Sprint Car Openware. So somebody, I don't know very much about Australian Sprint Car racing, I'm not sure what the Sprint Car Champ and the Sprint Car Open, the difference is in that. If someone could explain that, that would be great. But it appears that he was very good at those two events. He's also a 3-time winner of the Grand Annual Sprint Car Classic, which I do know as basically the Knoxville Nationals of Australia. He won that 3 times. He was also a 2-time winner of the Knoxville World Challenge during the week of the Knoxville Nationals. That event no longer happens anymore, but he did win that 2 times. He's a 3-time winner of the President's Cup down there in Australia as well. He finished 7th at the 2007 Knoxville Nationals, which is the best finish of his career during that event. A 3-time winner with the All-Star Circuit of Champions. He also won a prelim night during the Knoxville 360 Nationals with the ASCS National Tour. That came back in 2012. 21 times he was a winner with the IRA Sprint Car Series up there near Wisconsin and in those surrounding areas. A 3-time champion with the NCRA Series. We were talking about that over here on this side. Between 2001 and 2004, that is where Brooke Tatnell really focused on his racing, was with the NCRA Series. He won the championship 3 times. 77 times a winner with the World Series Sprint Cars down there in Australia. 77. Now, I couldn't find an all-time wins list for that series, but I would have to guess that Brooke Tatnell is at the top or near the top when it comes to that stat category there. And he's also a 9-time champion of that series. And if we added in all of the seconds and all of the thirds that he have with that, this number would be pushing 15, maybe even 20. He finished 2nd or 3rd a lot in that championship with the World Series Sprint Cars, but he was able to be the top guy 9 times. Also, in 2006, he won a World of Outlaws race that paid $25,000 to win at the Skagit Speedway. Basically, it's the 2006 version of the Sage Fruit Skagit Nationals that we know of as today. This year, it's going to be a high-limit racing event that's going to pay $100,000 to win. Last year, it was a World of Outlaws race. I want to say it paid $50,000 last year. Maybe I'm wrong on that. It might have been $25,000. And just last year, as we mentioned at the top of the video, he was the 2023 champion at the Houston Speedway, where he does run full-time. Not sure if that's going to be the case this year. I know he splits a lot of time between Knoxville and Houston. One of those guys that likes to run those 2 tracks on a relatively full-time basis. And then he splits off and does go run some outlaw stuff. If the IRA is close, he runs with IRA, things like that. So Brooke Tatnell is still a very busy driver, and he does actually have his son racing now. We got to see him last year during the race at Ogleview Raceway. Brooke Tatnell, I think he was racing, and his kid was also racing, or maybe it was just the kid. I cannot remember, but Brooke Tatnell, a very busy guy right now between his own racing and his kids racing. So cool to see that. But that's all we've got today for Brooke Tatnell. Excited to see what he will do in 2024, coming off of that Houston Speedway Track Championship. And hopefully he can maybe repeat or maybe get himself up there and contend for a top 10 with the Outlaws and change these stats around. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and hopefully you guys enjoyed tonight's World of Outlaws race at Arrowhead Raceway. We'll be tuned into that later on tonight. So thank you guys so much. Hit the subscribe button. That is free. Also hit the like button and comment down below. Do you have any good stories about Brooke Tatnell? We want to hear them down in the comment section below. Thank you very much. And before the video's over, just want to give a quick shout out to our channel member Blake Dowell for his support here on this YouTube channel. Thank you guys very much. We'll see you in the next one.